Our Commitment 2022 coverage right now, and we're 25 days away from California's June primary election day.
Yeah, ballots should start arriving in your mailbox this week, and we of course want to get you prepared for the primary, and to do that, we're joined now live with political analyst Mike Lurie. And Mike, it's a pleasure to see you again. So glad you're joining us this morning.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you on the studio here, Mike.
Absolutely, you bet.
All right, let's dig right in. Let's talk about some of the races that are generating the most interest. What are those?
Well, probably the most interesting one is the Attorney General's race. That's because Rob Bonta, of course, is the incumbent. He was appointed, as you know, by Governor Newsom about a year ago, and he's going to be facing a lot of competition for that race. Probably the most interesting challenger, if you will, is Anne Marie Schubert, the district attorney for Sacramento. Yeah. She's got a lot of name recognition, probably mostly because of the Golden State Killer case. She was her cold case unit was the one that cracked that. I remember covering the trial on that.
Yeah.
It was extensively covered in Sacramento. So she's going to get a lot of play out of that, and she has to get some advertising and other revenue sources to become sort of a statewide candidate, but she's running as an independent and no party preference person. So she used to be Republican. She's now renounced that. She's now an independent. That'll be interesting. But she's got a couple of other challengers. Rob Bonta does in terms of Republicans. Nathan Hochman, who is a former U.S. attorney down in Southern California, and then Eric Early as well, who has run for this post before. He's a Republican. So it's going to be a very crowded race, and there's a lot of names there, but some that people will recognize on the ballot, which are now arriving in the mail this week.
Yeah, and there are a couple of other races too. There is the race for state controller, as well as the race for sheriff. Yeah.
Both of those are going to be very hotly contested. In the controller's race, we have a lot of interesting candidates, of course. The name we're probably going to see most is Malia Cohen. You've seen probably some of her ads on TV already, very much out there. She's a Democrat. She's proclaiming that and advertising as well. But she's got a lot of challengers as well, including Steve Glazer, who is a state senator from the Bay Area. I've interviewed him many times before in the past. He's interested in that post. Also, we have Ron Galperin, a former LA City Controller, and maybe the Republicans' most interesting chance is a guy named Lanhee Chen, who has served as a political analyst, but also served with the Bush administration and the Romney. He was part of the Romney campaign about a decade ago or so. So he's got some chops there. And Republicans like him and think he might be their best chance to actually get a statewide office.
A lot of candidates to keep an eye on. Another interesting headline, so to speak, out of the ballot is that Alex Padilla is going to be on there twice. What's that all about, Mike?
Yeah, twice and maybe even 3 times or 4 times.
Wow.
And it's sort of an anomaly in terms of California elections, but basically he was the appointed U.S. Senator, as you know, by Governor Newsom. And so he's running for the unexpired term of Kamala Harris, who is now, of course, Vice President. And so he's got that race that will be in June and then also in November. But he's also got the open seat that starts in January. Now, both terms end in January. January is when this one ends, the one that he's filling, and then there's the full term coming up again in January. So you'll see his name on the ballot multiple times.
So interesting.
Will probably cause a lot of confusion for voters.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so.
But talk about what is the race he's actually running for? So what should voters be focused on if they choose to support him?
So he's running for U.S. Senate. He's trying to retain his seat. He's the current U.S. Senator from California, the junior senator, along with Dianne Feinstein, of course. So he's running to fulfill that seat, which goes through January of next year. And then there's an open seat that starts in January of next year that he's running as well. And he's got a bunch of candidates, probably about 24 or more.
Gotcha.
So when it comes to being in this position that Alex Padilla is in, I mean, that's a huge challenge as far as messaging and marketing. Like, what does he do about that?
Well, it's a great question because there's been sort of a mistake happened in the campaign. And this is the mistake. This came out just this week. It's the California Democratic Party endorsements. You'll see it's got a lot of names here, Gavin Newsom and others, but Alex Padilla's name is not on the list, and that's because the California Democratic Party made an error. They forgot to mail in their endorsement to the county registers across the state, and so you won't see his name on the ballot here or on the flyer.
Wow.
It's clearly, it may not help him, may not hurt him very much in the long run, but it's certainly a missed opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unforced error.
You know, Mike, another thing we want to talk about along the same lines, talking about Alex Padilla. Why are California Californians voting multiple times for the same U.S. Senate seat?
It's because of the anomaly of the California race. Basically, he's filling Kamala Harris's seat, so he's got to run for that, and then he's got to also run again for his own seat. So it's just because of the nature of the fact that he was appointed to that post.
Yeah.
And as a result, he's got to run in 2 races concurrently at the same time.
So much for voters to know.
So much to know. I wanted to ask you more about your pseudo-retirement, which of course, no time for that, but we'll definitely throw something on Facebook and give people an update on what Mike Lurie is up to these days. So nice to have you back in the studio,
Great to
Mike.
be back.